everyone, I'm Brendan. I created Podpage, and I'm very excited to launch this new service for our elite members, which is a free design session with me. So I created the whole site. I've built almost all of the design functionality in it, and I know that although we make the site pretty easy to build and we have a lot of options, sometimes it can get confusing, and sometimes you can't get exactly what you want on your own. So over the past few years, we've spent a bunch of time here and there sort of informally helping users with their sites and helping them get their design dialed in the way they want it. And what we found is there is a demand for a little bit more heavy-handed service. And we went down the road of like, oh, we could build like a design service, a paid-for service, What we decided to do to start was if you're on our elite plan and you're signed up for the annual plan, I will sit down with you for 30 minutes, we'll go through your site, we'll make tons of changes, we'll dial it into what you want. And we've now been doing this, we prototyped this for a little while, and it's working really, really well. So what probably the situation that you're in for this to be really helpful is you've built a page and you just kind of want some overall advice or thoughts on the design, just sort of a fresh set of eyes to help. And I can do that. I've seen thousands of these pages. The other one is you might be like 99% there, but you really just need to dial in a couple things. You can't really figure out how to do it. And so I can help there. So the goal of this session is to talk and to work through what issues you want to fix and then to actually fix them on the call. So by the end of the call, your website will look different than the beginning and hopefully it'll look a lot better. So that's the goal. Again, we've been doing this for a while and it's working really well. And just as a note, if you're wondering why we only offer this to the elite annual plan members, is this takes a ton of time. And as far as like design services, they tend to be somewhat expensive. And so if we were to offer this on the monthly basis, people be upgrading, do the session, and then downgrading right away. We couldn't figure out how we could scale it and do it in a way that we were happy with. So we're starting with just the elite annual plan. But considering that the overall cost of this would be at least $500, it basically you're getting your year for free if you consider this what you're paying for. So let me show you a couple things. So to do it, if you go to this page, you'll see upgrade to access if you are not on the right plan. If you are, there'll be a link to schedule time. So that's where you found it. And let me show you a couple just examples of kind of what to expect. So obviously I can't do any fully custom graphics or any crazy stuff in 30 minutes. But what we can do is we can look at the page. So here's one that came in and they said, what can we do better? And you can kind of, I hope you probably can already see some issues with this like tons of empty space, with a ton of duplication here. There's actually full duplication. The nav bar was 2 lines. This picture in the back is a little hard to see. So we just went through and we just cleaned it up. And so by the end of the call, the nav bar was straightened out. The header was a little bit easier to read. We added featured episodes that instead of just one featured episode, a grid of featured episodes. And then we filled out we updated the sidebar, and we also filled out this the formatting here and added all these custom graphics in. So ends up looking and feeling a lot better. So that's one. Here's another one that we did. This one came in, and my feedback to this person was he has all these great colors, but the dark website felt really heavy, and he basically didn't even know that he could have a lighter website because he clicked this button when he joined 4 years ago. So we took this site, which felt a little dark and heavy, and we just brightened it up. We added his custom graphics to it. We added a player at the top here. We put featured episodes. And again, the goal of this is you're not going to see this like total redesign because it's a 30-minute session, but you will see a page that looks a lot better and hopefully a lot more representative of the podcast. Here's another one. Someone came in with this one, and they had just been going in and playing with the settings and it ended up turning off stuff and breaking stuff. You can see the nav bar's a couple lines. There's no real graphics. This text is huge. It's hard to read because it's gray. There's no episodes on the front page. So this is a fun one. We took this was the site, and we turned it into this. So the theme of the grays and the grayscale is still there. We added a player at the top. We added player links. We made the nav bar 1 line. We added episodes in, and we added the episode artwork to show. And so suddenly it feels like a podcast website. So if you just zoom out for these two, I think this is always a fun example. That's before and after. And so again, it's not like we're doing this crazy custom design work. What we're trying to do is just make the page feel a lot better feel a lot more like the podcast, and really make sure that the visitor knows that it's a podcast website and gets to the content as quickly as possible. So hopefully that's helpful. I would love to help you. Sign up for a session. There's a lot of availability because I've made a ton of time available for this. This is why it's for the elite members. So you'll get access to me pretty quickly, and we can get your website looking great. So hopefully that's helpful. Let me know if I can do anything else to help, but hope to meet with you.